NTT83, Non-Tactical Tailor 83 on Instagram, coming to you with a little bit more information on the SAR109T. Prior to filming, everything was checked for clear and safety reasons, all that good stuff. Alright, so in the comment section, as well as on Instagram, I've had a couple questions regarding the 109T, as well as how I was able to replace the muzzle device, the barrel nut, and remove the receiver extension. The answer to that is a shitload of heat. The Turkish military, I guess the specification, I don't really know, I haven't heard back from SAR yet, but was to use a lot of Loctite or some type of thread locker. So the muzzle device was honestly the easiest thing to break loose because you can use the typical vice block for a standard AR-15 upper. However, the lower, with it being a dedicated, there's no adapter in here, it's just a strict dedicated, called stick magazine style lower. It took a little bit more finesse. I ended up using an Uzi magazine, locked it into the vise, and applied generous heat to the receiver extension, and a pipe wrench, not a combo tool to break loose the receiver extension. I did a very similar thing with the barrel nut on the handguard. There's about why the hell would there be 5 screws, right? There's 8. There are 8 screws that kept the original handguard connected to the original barrel nut. Those were also Loctited in. That required a generous amount of heat, as well as a lot of cussing to remove those screws. Once those were removed, to remove the barrel nut, again, lock it into a vise, apply a generous amount of heat, cuss, probably more than you normally would, depending on who you are. I cussed quite a bit during the procedure, and I did end up having to use, again, a pipe wrench instead of a traditional combo tool for the barrel nut. It was on there good. We'll just go that route. Alright, so the muzzle device was the easiest thing to break loose. Applied just a generous amount of heat for a few minutes, then was actually able to just use a crescent wrench and break it loose. Now, one of the other comments, especially on Instagram, I've got is regarding the Delta Tech flash hider. It is a 4-piece flash hider. It is not a sound mitigation device. It is not a suppressor or a way to get around a suppressor. It does have a US control number, and it is serialized. There's a serial number on it, but it's not a serialized component, such as needing to be registered like an FA or paperwork involved with it. So people are idiots, and they're gonna jump to their conclusions because of the size of it. Now these are meant for the Vitskyas, or like a KP9 or a AKV. These are used by the Spetsnaz, or the group of soldiers that are using the Vitsyas to protect the Russian president, Putin. So, very, very good at mitigating the flash. Also, it works as a compensator, so you get a very flash shooting platform. 9mm don't have a lot of recoil anyway. This girl comes in a little bit heavier than a standard PC, like a Scorpion, say 90% polymer on those. Sights. Questions about the sights. These are the factory Turkish military ones. Some of these are now shipping out with Magpul, like a style of the Magpul Pro sights. They are now the most important thing about this video. My original complaint about this firearm is the MSRP on it was around $1,700. I didn't pay anywhere close to that for it. I got mine from my local dealer. They had a notification from maybe RSR or Davidson's that they had them for $650. So I traded in something to the shop, got it for $650, and went to testing on it. $650, $750 gun all day long. Even $1,000. I would even pay, with as reliable and as fun as this has been, I would even go $1,000 for it. But now They seem to be much more readily available in the US market in larger quantities, and the price point's around $650 to $750. That is a really, in my opinion, you know, not showing any bias. I have other PCCs, and I have other 9mm carbine pistol caliber things and stuff. Anyway, point is, not even a bias on it, but if you want a Colt pattern dedicated lower style PCC, this thing is the shit. I really like it, highly recommend it. Are there better ones on the market? Probably. Are they going to do anything better than this? I don't see it. If you check out other videos, there's not many out there outside of the ones I'm putting out. Most of them are just the Turkish military running through the paces with fully automatic and doing drills with them. The original SAR109 had a carry handle and looked much more like the original Colt 635. This was the SAR109T that was updated for more of a civilian market to the US market. Now, every component on mine is serialized and has, I'm going to say Turkish. Some of the language on mine is Turkish, not English. So I don't know what that means. I don't know, with mine shipping out with the Troy HK style sites, if more military contract pieced together, or if just fucking luck of the draw. I don't know. I haven't heard back from SAR. Again, magazines. Colt stick magazines, not Glock. I like that. I like the look. I like the aesthetic, and it's cool to own different types of firearms. Now, ACS, C Products, there are several companies out there that if you check on the interwebs, you're going to be able to find a multitude of different magazines. I think even Duramag makes some Colt magazines that are affordable, and you can get them from 10 rounds all the way to 33 rounds. They ship, the 109T does ship with mine shipped at least with 3 30-round magazines, a very, very cool hard case that is, pre-cut foam and all that good jive. That holds everything extremely secure, a cool cleaning kit, and a camo little pouch. And overall, just it was packaged very well. Did it need to be changed out? The only component that really needed to be changed out, in my opinion, was the receiver extension. I could have just went ahead and thrown like a little SV Tactical brace on the end of it, and it would have been fine. But I had the PDW brace laying around and had not found a firearm that I had enjoyed having this on yet. It just ended up looking really good on the 109T, so it stayed. That was the only component that really needed to be changed. The fore end, I had this surplus GG&G 1201 laying around, and again had been waiting for something to put it on that I was going to like it. With the fact that it's free float, 2-piece, worked perfectly with the aesthetic and look I was going for. So maybe it is what it is. But the original quad rail that comes on it is a free float. It seems to be of very good quality. I ran the initial 100 to 190 rounds with the initial quad rail on it, and free float quad rail on it, and had no issues. Heat dissipation, didn't heat up any. I wasn't wearing gloves, it was the middle of summer. So if you buy one components that you need to change out, really, receiver extension, that's it. Other than that, it's ready to go. The Delta Tech here was mainly just out of curiosity because I have the Strela, the Armacons, and the other 4-piece designs, and had not used one of the Delta Techs, so I wanted to try it out. Totally worth the money. US market money? No, they're like $500 or $400. Ordering direct from Delta Tech takes about 35 days, but you're saving close to $300. These run from Delta Tech about $180. Or no, I'm sorry, $160 plus the shipping, around $180. US market, I've seen them like close to $400 and some over $400, which is ridiculous. For what it does, and being able to switch it to a multitude of different PCCs, totally worth it. Love it. Would buy it again. Same thing with the 109T, especially now that they're on the US market, much more readily available for a better price point. That is really all I wanted to cover, mainly due to the comment section and people asking about the removal of the muzzle device, acquisition, etc. So if you have any more questions or comments or just want to know anything else, put it in the section. I am not perfect. I do make mistakes. I don't know, maybe once a month, something like that. Not very often. Pretty damn close to perfect. But I may have said something wrong that I'm sure someone will correct me on. Feel free to talk shit. I like it. It's fun. Next video. Hell, I really don't know what I'm going to do the next video on. But what I planned on talking about is not the AK-103 here, but the acquisition and how I ended up acquiring the Zeniko furniture at a much more reasonable cost and much more readily accessible than the US market. Of course, everyone wants to support US sellers, and I think that is great, but I'm not paying $500 or over $500 for a product when I can get it direct for, around the $250 price point. And I am non-tactical, so it's not like I'm going to be using this 103 out in defending the free world. I am using it as a recreational weapon, possibly home. I'm not going to use an AK for home defense. I'm just going to be legit with you. But is it possible? Yeah. Yeah, why not? But it is more of a history collector piece for me. It is much more of a range tool that I really enjoy shooting. I love the 7.62 by 39 caliber, and I love the history behind a lot of the AKs and collecting them. So the Zeniko is it's top quality crap. It's just really hard to get sometimes. It's always out of stock. Or you have to figure out mix matching. Is it a V33 that goes with an N19N, or is it a 21 for a lower? Is it a 21N for a lower that's going to go with your 19H upper, or is it the V33 for the RPK, and will that work on you? There's all kinds of different specifications there. Ivan Tactical has the coolest chart ever. You click on what you want to buy and it tells what's compatible with each. Hopefully I can go through some of that on the next video when I talk about the Zeniko furniture. So, wrapping up, 109T, the only way to get the shit off of here, anything that you want to remove, is a moderate amount of heat or a generous amount of heat. The other question, the magazine is not going, you're not going to be able to make the magazine ambidextrous as far as I'm aware. SAR may put out a product, but on the right side of the receiver, the section right here is elongated. It is longer than a standard AR-15 magazine release, so you can enlarge the button on the, if you're a right-hand shooter, you can enlarge that button to, have more like easily dropping magazine clipazines to drop them. But I haven't found a way to make it ambidextrous. I haven't tried that hard either, but I did try putting Troy Industries ambidextrous magazine release on it, and it was too short. Did it function? Yes, but it left a gap there which was going to be prone to getting dirt, mud, other crud, or some type of shit in there that could cause a malfunction, so I didn't leave it in. I did try also my Knight's Armament, and again the same thing. It was too short on the side going closer to the muzzle, and that gap there would have, it could potentially result in a malfunction due to something getting underneath there. So I didn't leave it in. However, you can put a larger magazine button, and that would help with you dropping the clipazines a lot easier, if that is something that you're so inclined to do for the tactical operators out there that are doing tac stuff out of helicopters and shit that I'm not doing. I think that covers just about everything that I've heard in the comments section or the comments that I've got hit up on Instagram. Anything else? Let me know. Thanks for watching.